Hello and welcome to my wedding Kickstarter. I wanted to make these videos because I come across so many brides and grooms who have recently got engaged and really don't know where to start. So hopefully this set of videos will help you on your way. First of all, congratulations. And I think that one of the first things that I want to say is for all of those newly engaged couples, the first step in my wedding Kickstarter is to just be engaged. Enjoy it, enjoy the congratulations, enjoy people asking to see the ring, enjoy asking people hearing you talk about how it all happened and the romance of it all. There are so many couples that I work with who get engaged and the very first thing that they do is they contact me and say, right, we want to set a date. And I think that the engagement itself is something that gets lost. Although who am I to talk? I was engaged and married within 8 months, so I did exactly the opposite of what it is that I'm recommending my couples do. The second thing I think when it comes to planning a wedding is a wedding in itself can be very stressful. There are lots of people who want to give their opinions, obviously there's money involved, and for a lot of people it's such a big day and it's so important to them that they do get themselves into this position where they do feel very stressed, particularly towards the end. And I have in my time worked with a few people who, if I'm being honest, I felt that they ruined their own wedding day because they were so stressed and so desperate for everything to be absolutely amazing and for their guests to have this wonderful time that they perhaps forgot what that wedding day was about, and it's about them as a couple. I have seen brides in tears on their wedding day, not through happiness but through stress. I have seen brides have panic attacks on their wedding day, and that's absolutely the thing that we want to avoid during the wedding planning process. So my second tip would be to recognise that in yourself and recognise that if you are the kind of person who does get stressed about things, that you need to have those coping mechanisms in place. Think about who you might want to have as your bridal party. Think about the people that you want around you and the people who you need in your bridal party. You need to have those people who are that support network for you. You need to have those people who will calm you down and will bring you back down to earth, not necessarily those people who perhaps feed off your stress. The other thing around managing your stress levels is thinking about that planning process. If planning a wedding becomes all consuming to you and it's all you think about, you get home from work and the first thing you do is you get your wedding planning binder out, what you need to think about is once your wedding day has happened, how are you going to cope with that moving forward? You don't want the post-wedding blues, which again I find with a lot of couples, brides in particular, that once their wedding day is over, it's like, oh, well, what am I going to do now? Well, the answer is you're going to be married. You're starting that journey together as a married couple. So throughout that planning process, you need to set yourself boundaries and you need to set yourself time restrictions. Don't forget who you are within that planning process. Don't forget to date. Take days off where you don't think about weddings and you don't think about that planning process. And all of that will help you with your stress levels. It will help you to balance that planning process with having a life. So when you get to that final week or so before your wedding, when you are really stressed, because that does tend to be the time when everyone's panicking, thinking, oh my gosh, I've not quite finished and there's still so much to do, you're able to cope with it better because you haven't had that all throughout that process. So for me, step one is be engaged, enjoy it. It is what it is. My step two of the planning process is you. It's think about you, think about your stress levels, think about your own health, think about how you can get through this process. as stress-free as possible, but how are you going to be able to cope with life after wedding planning? So I hope those two first tips are helpful to you, and I'd really like it if you would join me again when I start talking about step 3.